What does pain turn a person into? Sometimes not a monster, but someone the world can't silence, even if it tries. Before he ever called himself a hero, a menace, or a mistake with a smart mouth, there was a man who simply wanted a quiet life with the woman he loved. A man who thought happiness could finally be his. Wade Wilson, before the red suit, before the time travel, before the chaos. But stories like his never stay quiet. There's a memory that haunts him more than bullets ever could. A night, a door kicked open, a flash of a gun, and the kind of loss that empties your chest from the inside. Vanessa's laugh disappears, and the apartment that once smelled like burnt toast and cheap candles becomes a grave Wade can't climb out of. He tries to escape the world the only way he knows, but he fails because the world isn't done with him. Colossus drags him back into life, whether he wants it or not. Somewhere else, in a future already broken, a soldier with metal arms and dead eyes loads a weapon. Cable doesn't travel through time for fun. He comes because a child, a boy with too much fire inside him and not enough love, will grow into something dangerous. The kind of dangerous that burns families down to bones. Cable isn't coming to save the world. He's coming to stop one person. But rewind, or fast forward, or jump sideways. This story refuses to be in order. A boy named Russell stands outside an orphanage that claims to fix mutants. The truth hides in the bruises on his arms and the anger in his voice. Wade meets him during an X-Men trainee mission that goes wrong the moment Wade sees the cruelty in the staff's eyes. Wade never did play by rules. He attacks the tormentors and lands himself and Russell in a cold iron prison where powers go silent and hope freezes. Meanwhile, a giant sits in that same prison. Not a man, not exactly. Juggernaut. A walking avalanche waiting for the right voice to free him. Somewhere above the clouds, a ridiculous team jumps out of a plane. X-Force, a group Deadpool gathered from desperation and Craigslist-level chaos. Domino floats through disaster like luck is her superpower. The others don't. Bodies hit the streets before the mission even begins. A tragedy if it weren't so darkly, absurdly Deadpool. Back to the icebox. Cable storms through it like a one-man apocalypse. Wade fights him with jokes sharp enough to cut steel, but humor can't win every battle. Russell sees Wade's failure and chooses a new friend, a giant with a helmet and a grudge against everything. Now Wade's regrowing legs in a stranger's apartment, tiny feet swinging off a chair like a toddler with trauma. Cable walks in not as an enemy, but as someone tired of fighting alone. They need each other, even if they'd rather punch than admit it. The orphanage burns with Russell's rage. He lifts his hand, ready to kill the man who hurt him. Cable takes aim. Deadpool, collar on, powerless, steps between them and lets the bullet take him. He collapses with a joke on his tongue, because that's who he is. And in that moment, Russell sees someone choose him, not as a weapon, but as a kid who deserves another chance. But time isn't done bending. Cable rewinds the moment, shifting fate just enough to save the man who saved the boy. Juggernaut is electrocuted in a fountain. Domino lands on her feet. The orphanage falls. The future changes. Later, Wade steals the time device and dances through history, fixing regrets like a child with a red crayon correcting the universe. And through all the scattered chaos, one truth stands clear. Deadpool isn't a hero because of his powers or his aim. He's a hero because pain tried to break him. And instead, he turned it into something sharp, loud, and impossible to ignore.